Hello everyone, you're watching Pitch Battle. I'm your host, Indraneel. Today is a big day. Yes, I don't want to recall what happened 2 years ago. India versus England in that semi-final match where we lost by 10 wickets. It's a new game, new venue, new everything. And we are in top form. I mean, the way we played throughout the tournament, we have been unbeaten. Uh, so hopes are really high. Of course, a lot of revolution is supposed to happen after this tournament. But as of now, my heart is inside my mouth, and I'm sure Avinash, who's joining me, the editor of My Khel, would share the same sentiment. Avinash, I mean,
Yes,
leading up to a
definitely.
surprise, where we saw South Africa completely crushing the Afghanistan cricket team, and now it's scary because it's do or die. Either perform or perish. It's like very simple. We have come to this stage of the tournament, that stage of the tournament, whatever you call it. But we have really struggled in playoff matches. I'm really tense, to be very honest. I'm planning to skip my lunch because till the time it's not happening, and it's good way to sort of lose weight and also stay alert. That okay, I won't sleep empty stomach because the match is going to be on. Let's let's be part of that countdown. So I'm thoroughly excited. What about you?
Dada, well, I am also very excited. Yes, from an Indian fan's point of view, I am also nervous because of the fact we've had a history of uh, choking in the crunch moments and crunch games in the last 11 years. We've seen the Indian team making it to the semis and the finals and then failing to cross the final hurdle. Uh, so if the younger generation, if we just talk about who would just, I mean, in their infancy, when India last won a World Cup back in 2011, they might not be having any memories of an India win. So generation who would be 14 or 15 odd years old, they would find it hard to recollect whether this team has this mentality or not because they've seen them lose out all big occasions. But having said, team definitely has proven a lot, a lot of set uh, by the kind of cricket they've played. But when it comes to the semis and it's the mental side of your game which comes into play and which holds a lot of relevance. Whatever happened in the league stages or the Super 8 stages, it's all thing of the past. Now you'll have to make a fresh start, just like a test match. You'll just have to walk in every like a fresh session. You starting from zero, and then build on the from the momentum that you've got. And even if you are pushed against the walls, you'll have to bounce back. We've seen this team bouncing back quite a few times in this tournament. The road to the semi-finals has not been easy one, but the the number of wins Team India has had, the scorecards that we've seen will tell you a story. But they've had their struggles as well on the way through. So they should be stronger uh, with the kind of struggles they've had, the hardships they faced en route to the semis. But if anything to go by is the English side is not going to give you a lot of leeways. That is for sure. They are the defending champions. They will play like champions, and you won't be able to uh, make a comeback if you make or commit mistakes. We've seen what happened in the last game against Australia. We batted well, we bowled well, but one aspect of our game, the fielding side, was questionable.
All right, but uh, I believe in only one thing, which is that you have to be a super cat. Even a big cat, when it's on a hunting spree, and out of 20 times, I think he'll be successful only once. 19 times. So that's the way it happens in the jungle. But here, in our real world, in the concrete jungle, whatever you call it, the principle won't change. You have to keep trying, and this is one occasion where I mean, if you win over England, I strongly feel we have a very good chance to beat South Africa. And all those questions we have addressed it before also. How the selector when they're interviewed or the coach, uh, and the commonly asked question: Why are we not winning ICC tournaments? And are we like South Africans? So South Africa, they're playing the final for the first time. So it's an amazing thing, India South Africa playing. Uh, well, I don't want to insult them by saying they have choked in the past or they're chokers and something like that. It's very easy to actually pinpoint and say something nasty about a cricket team. But you know how tough it is to play cricket, to win a tournament, how many elements will have to come together to ensure you're winning a tournament, right? It's not easy. So, I mean, repeated effort from Indian side, which is also commendable. The fact that we tried, we went out hunting 20 times, we've been successful only once, going by what a tiger would do in the wild. So keep trying, but it doesn't mean that tiger would go back empty stomach. Uh, it's very important that we get our food on time. If you want to eat more, hunt more. That's what Tiger principle is all about. Your thoughts on that? 20 times, you'll only be successful once.
Yeah, and that's the philosophy of this game of cricket. I mean, just look at the
Yes.
batters or bowlers. Uh, no, they won't get a six or get a wicket every ball. So they will have to face n number of balls and concede n number of runs to get a wicket. So definitely, it teaches them a lot. They will not be successful on every occasion. There will be failures more than the successes that you've had. Rahul Dravid
Yes.
has been rightly putting it up. He sums it up very nicely that your career has been decided by the number of failures you have, but the lesser number of failures that you have, you will be counted as the great. And more than often than not, you'll end up on the losing side or on the failing side because Virat Kohli will not be able to score a ton in every match. Yeah, but still, he has the best conversion rate in world cricket in terms of centuries or half centuries or stuff like that. So even Jasprit Bumrah or Kishore Rabada, they all are good bowlers, gun bowlers, but they will not pick wickets on every delivery or in every single over they play. There will be bad days, and that is how the game or sport teaches them. So it's as equal to a lion going for the hunt and coming empty-handed, but he will not uh, uh, leave it or just sit back because it's a matter of survival. And for Team India as well, it's actually not a matter of survival, but it's the matter of proving your authority and dominance in world cricket. Yes, you've been bilateral kings. You've done a lot at your home. You've done well away from home. But when it comes to uh, your legacy, your performance, your dominance in world cricket, it will only be gauged watching at your the ICC trophies you have in your cabinet, and that's what at the end of the day counts.
True. True. I mean, I remember 2007 when a young team uh, in which Sachin and Saurav desperately wanted to be there to play that inaugural T20 World Cup. They couldn't because selectors, the BCCI, firm that they would send a young team. And they did, and we didn't have much of expectation. This time also, when we went to the US, to the West Indies, there are not much of expectation from the fans, but from the time Indian team has picked themselves up, from going from strength to strength, playing every match with to their potential, which is I thought, and everyone sort of raising their hand and saying, "Okay, I'm going to win the match for you tonight." So that spirit has really been indomitable. I think I really uh, hope they continue to do that tonight because we deserve it. Let's put it in simple words. You know, the fact that we are the headquarter of cricket. I mean, ICC could be based out of Dubai, London, it doesn't matter. World Test Championship might happen in London, it doesn't matter. But world cricket is ruled by India. And if India would win, it's only a validation of the fact that we deserve to be the champions. Because you see the infrastructure, you see the kind of talent we have. It's a it's a package, and we are feeding. Our world cricket is feeding of India's money, and look at the sponsors who are there, all Indian sponsors. Look at the timing. The matches happen at 8 o'clock prime time in India, so there has to be some due diligence. Cricket God, are you hearing me? Please get me that trophy. We deserve. So this time also we didn't have much of an expectation, but team doing and going from strength to strength, that should be a good start to our sort of what we are out there to achieve. What are your thoughts? I mean, the fact that we didn't expect much tonight also, we're expecting a lot deep down inside, but we're not saying much.
Yes, and that's a good thing. वो कहावत है दूध का जला छाछ भी भूख भूख के पीता है तो it's something like that and the thing is people don't want to jinx it they've seen that journey as I was mentioning they see I mean the lesser expectations you have the better it is because the team is doing well you don't want to jinx it and also because of the fact that the fans have it a belief in the Indian cricket team that no matter what, they will qualify for the semi-finals. The actual battle for Team India starts now, and be it Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, whosoever is a good captain or a legendary captain, it will only be proven by the fact if you end up lifting the trophy. You won't be gauged or judged about by how many times you made it to the finals and what kind of team you had, whether it was a strong team or relatively younger, inexperienced team, not a very strong team. Was it a fluke or not? I mean, everything will be taken into consideration only if you are ending up on the winning side and becoming the champion. So the first target for every Indian team, I mean, is to just make it to the semi-finals, and then from there on, they will have to ensure that they keep that winning mentality, winning streak uh, in the knockout stages. Because we've seen these players fizzling out in crucial matches. We've seen what happened in the 2015
True,
semi-finals against
true.
Australia, in Sydney. Uh, we just couldn't perform. I think it was the pressure of a big match, that too playing against Australia on a ground like Sydney, which always favors the Aussies. Uh, then there was a Champions Trophy final in England, where everybody was expecting Team India to go on and lift that trophy at Adelaide Oval. That didn't happen. So and then what we saw in Australia in the last edition of the T20 World Cup and last year as well at home. So everybody understands the fact that the moment you start keeping putting your expectations, uh, you might start feeling, or the team might start feeling a little a heat of that, and they might not be able to cross the final early. So yes, we are not seeing a lot of fanfare in India as well about the T20 World Cup. People or the fans are just taking one match at a time, and it's just a game, nothing else.
True. And fact that you mentioned about Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. I mean, I was just calculating, next year if they win today and win the World Cup, what happens is 25 you have Champions Trophy, 26 we have another T20 World Cup at home. They would love to play that. 27 we have uh, is it yeah 50 over World Cup. So the journey goes on. I mean, Do you see them playing till 2027 in white ball cricket? And a lot of people are saying they should win and retire. I mean, who would give up? I mean, there's so much money. Who would give up that? And as long as you're playing for India, you're always in the circulation, which is the kind of money they make also. And if you're not playing T20 cricket, I think you're out of public consciousness. Because how many players would be remembered? And that's why they don't play domestic cricket. They all only want to play white ball cricket. Uh, so why will I go if I'm performing?
It's not just about performing, Dada. I think it's also about making way for the younger generation. I mean, you've had your fair share of successes and failures. It's time you decide and start showing that you are not just a legend on papers. You are also legend in real sense, and by legend you cannot be performing of, I mean, you just not be thinking by for yourself. At You will also have to think about Indian cricket and its future
True.
as well. You are not playing domestic cricket and you come up with this justification that if we are playing in domestic cricket, uh, we are eating up our space. Well, it is time you realize something similar is happening at international stage as well. You've played your part, you've done your service to Indian cricket. Nobody is going to question your contribution. People are going to celebrate your game, your stardom, your legacy. For the next 15, 20 years, unless and until the next Rishabh Pant, next Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli
No,
burst into
but
field.
I want to interrupt. I want to ask you one question. If these seniors, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, would tell the youngsters, "Score more than us, then you take over the slot." I mean, who's stopping you? Why you're not scoring more than what we are doing for India, or what we have done? And we have seen in glimpse in bits and pieces how difficult it is. You know, when you have experience of Virat Kohli and there's a joke going around that Virat Kohli, if you miss 5 minutes of your match, Virat Kohli would join you very soon. You and Virat will be watching the match together. So, I mean, if they are able to score, and Virat is, of course, a very, very important player. I'll exactly read out the quote, which is the joke which is going around. They are saying nowadays, if you start watching a match 5 minutes late, Kohli is also uh, seen watching the match. So that's the joke, Virat Kohli. But he is a stalwart. Let me tell you that. I mean, even though I was not on the same page as selector, or I'm sure Avinash also that they should have played this World Cup. We have a good team. Let's anyone who would get into the side. I'm sure it's going to perform because the overall structure of the team and everything. So yeah, that bit is there. If I'm scoring more than the youngsters, what stops me from playing more?
See, absolutely, that is true. But the youngsters will only be able to perform when you are making way for them, and then there's an added responsibility comes falls upon their shoulders. Uh, for now, the youngsters also have this mentality, or they could be a thought process in them going through their minds that okay, even if we don't perform, ये तो है ना, ये काम करेंगे. So that mentality also uh, tends to do you harm, more harm than good. Uh, और इसके अलावा अगर आप देखो तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है when people there's a popular saying elephant in the room, so addressing the elephant in the room becomes a concern. And when you
Yeah,
have a player like a Virat Kohli and a persona like a Rohit Sharma who have done some remarkable things on the 22 in between those 22 yards and the pitch. So sometimes they are in so much in awe that they just can't get out of it and bring the best out of their game. It is time for these youngsters to just being thrown into the sea, into the
yeah,
water, and let them swim. Because if you are giving them a life, jacket, and then you are asking them to
Yeah,
swim, they will not
very well
learn
said.
the art of swimming the way they should.
True, very well said. In fact, this morning, what we saw, Afghanistan, the way they lost, I thought,
Yes, yes,
Avinash, they could have won the toss. They won the toss, and they could have elected to bowl like England did against India in Adelaide. And Wicket had a lot of juice for the bowlers. I don't know what prompted Rashid to sort of give it away on a platter to South Africa. I was a little surprised with that. Tonight, I don't know what they are going to do. I mean, of course, it's a day game in the West Indies. Um, how Indian team, whosoever wins. And last time, a wrap up of what happened in the last semi-final we played against England. England won the toss and they beat us by 10 wickets. England were chasing 168, 169 for winning the game. They did it in once. They did it in how many overs? 16.2 overs. They scored around 170. What a match it was. Remember, and a lot has been spoken about that knock of Virat Kohli after that, 50 or 40 deliveries. And then Rohit also not contributing much. 27, I think he scored off 28 deliveries. So they have to really up the ante. Uh, they have to really pull up their socks, do something extraordinary because this is the game. We have to set the example, set the bar high. So this is the match we are all looking forward to. What a tremendous battle it will be. But I mean, your thoughts, how would you reflect on the way Afghanistan lost to South Africa? It was a golden opportunity. Probably an Australian team would have given a good run for their money as far as South Africans are concerned. Your thoughts on that?
they must have, they would have, they would beaten South Africa because as we was in the past as well. These these the art of winning in
Yeah,
the semi-finals and the final. How often do we see them losing in a knockout game? I mean, it very rarely that happens. So yes, they could have been the better side, but looking at the way Afghanistan team played in this competition, let's I mean, just commend the fact they've done something extraordinary to be in the semi-final. First, in a short span, 12 years, it's just commendable, and they would have definitely had butterflies in their stomach. The pressure would have been there, and they learn from these mistakes. Oh, we've already started calling them second best team in Asia, and they have been living up to the reputation of that. So it will bode well for Afghanistan. It will augur well for them in the coming days. Even if they lost it, yes, it was. It looked like a very uneven contest. Hardly any challenge posed or threat posed to OTRs, but it is all because of the fact game in a game played so many semifinals, but never ever they made it to the final. So also let's give a big round of applause to the South African side. It's been brilliance. We saw them doing that in the 2011 T20 World Cup. In 2022 also they were showing signs. They were looking dangerous, and all that effort of the last 4 years has finally culminated into their to the finals. Kudos to the African team, the South South Africa, showing faith and creating a side which is now looking as a potential champion and such a dominant force in world cricket now.
absolutely. I mean, what a sight it is to see the way they have come into the final. I mean, they deserve it also. But I mean, the best part of the story today was when Afghanistan lost those early wickets and they were all over the place. And uh, Nokia charging in, trying to sledge Rashid Khan, and they got into a sort of an ugly. exchange of words, and then later on, the way they hugged each other. That was beauty. That's the beauty of this game,
It's
really.
good.
You think of it.
Yes,
This is what, and Rashid is
go
a
down
champion
as one of the
cricketer.
best memories. Yeah, it will go down as a good moment in. I think Rashid was reprimanded for his behavior in the last game against Bangladesh. He and both Nokia might be summoned by the ICC today as well for their behavior on the pitch. But what happened? I mean, everything was buried and was left in the match and on the ground itself. It's good. Uh, so it's all good. But definitely, the match referee is not going to refer to that. What happened match in action during the heat of the moment, whatever you did, they are definitely going to get some penalties, uh, and it's good. Adds colors as well to the sport. And sometimes it is very important to have those heated conversations. Sometimes it brings the best out of you and the players.
True. I mean, it was amazing to such wonderful sights. I mean, they represent different nationalities, and when they want to win for their country, and when they come together, and after they're the best of friends, like India, Pakistan cricketers. Whatever political differences we have, the cricketers have always shared good rapport amongst themselves, which is what cricket. That's the strength of this game. I mean, how do you see England as an opposition tonight? Oh, when you talk about that, I mean, I want to forget what is going to happen tonight. It's actually could be quite nerve wracking for me because I'm little weak in terms of seeing. I really want to see India doing well in this game. But how tough will be England to go past them and be in the final? How do you see England? Also, they've shown a lot of good temperament in this tournament after losing to Australia initially. The way they fall back and they can really soak under pressure. And they have that experience. They've been on 19, not under 19, 2020, 2019 world champion in 50 over format, 22. So they have been in that position, ruling that white ball cricket. Australia wanted to sort of grab it for, and become all format champion, which India and Afghanistan joint venture could ensure that it's not going to happen. Um, as we wait for that match to begin, your thoughts on England, Avinash? How do you see England as an opposition for in front of India?
Whenever they uh, had the opportunity to perform and speak, they spoke with their performances. They showed why they are the
Yes.
best in the business, and that's what they are going to do in this match as well. Their morale will be high. Yes, people are claiming that this is not the same Indian side that English faced back in 2022, and but
Well,
sometimes these things are all part of a mind game to just uh, let the opposition their guard down. We've seen something similar. I was there in Ahmedabad during the 2023 World Cup final between India and Australia, and believe you me, even the Aussie media were not backing the Australian team. At least in the public, they were all going gaga about the Indian cricket team, and they were all claiming that this is going to be a cakewalk for the Indians because of the kind of game they have been playing, the performances they've been putting, playing at home, the home support, and everything else. But when it came on the D Day, they surprised everyone with the kind of game plan they came up with. So something similar, England might also try to script. They might try look at springing up a couple of surprises. They have it in them. They have the team to do so. And let's be very honest, Team India would not be wary of Jofra Archer, but they would be of
yeah, that will be an
Adil
interesting
Rashid and
battle.
Moin Khan.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, if you can sort of push the Aussies out of the tournament, they have been beating us in all those two finals, World Test Championship final, 50 over World Cup final. Now it's England's turn to be pushed away. That's what I would be praying tonight. Throughout the day, I mean, from the time I woke up, I've been saying India, 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 like all Indian fans. We're super excited. Avinash, thanks a lot. We hope for an Indian win, and of course, winning the tournament. And this is what we're looking at, and we'll not settle for anything less. On that note, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this show. Enjoy Pitch Battle. We'll be back tomorrow, and after India's been hopefully that's with keeping our fingers crossed. Thanks for watching Pitch Battle. Take care and enjoy cricket.